Grandest and grandettes, what's happening? Tank versus Tyrese versus happened the other day. I finally got a chance to watch it, and I wanted to do a recap with y'all. And there was a lot of highlights. One being this one.
You should take off that turtleneck. Anytime you feel like a take off that turtleneck, you gon' suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck. Don't suffocate in this verses. Turtleneck.
So we're gonna get into it and everything else right after this. Check it out.
We're now listening to the Black Absent.
You will never see anything like this ever again. All right, y'all. Versus is back. Tyrese and Tank have taken the reins. If you've been watching my channel, you know I do a pre-versus, a post-versus. My pre-one, I put some songs, some mock songs together that I think they're going to do, and I'll go by those songs, and I'll give my opinion or thought on who I think will win the versus. I didn't get to do that this time around. I had a lot of stuff going on. I just didn't get a chance to do it. By the time I was going to do it, it was the day of the versus. I said, God damn, I ain't even get to do it. But the good thing is I got a chance to watch the verses. I watched it with my lady. We watched it in its entirety, and man, was it a treat. Especially for two artists we both like and love and appreciate. So with that being said, we know that when it comes to verses, there's a lot of theatrics that's included. You got superpowers, you got guest appearances, you got jokes, you got stage presence. All that plays a part in the verses. It's just not the songs. The songs are one part of it, but it's how it's presented, it's how it's displayed. And if that artist is having a bad night, or the crowd is more in tune to the other artists, then it could be a hard night for the other artists. You get what I'm saying? So you got to kind of play it to where it's an even kilter, an even kill. You know how you get some verses where the artists don't really be talking shit because they know, like, they not them type of artists. Like, don't say no slick shit to me. Play your songs. Let's go like that. You know what I'm saying? And even then, you'll still have a winner. I'm going to give you an example. 2 Chainz and Rick Ross. That was an even kill. As much as we love 2 Chainz, Rick Ross's musical taste is just, it's upper echelon when it comes to music. So with that being said, let's get into this. It was a crazy night. As we saw, the turtleneck thing was crazy. Tank's sense of humor is just out of this world. And then Tyrese, dude, I don't know what it was. He just couldn't find his footing. But all that aside, let's go by the songs. We're going to go in. Let's bring up the playlist, and we're going to go into and see who actually had the better songs. So, started off with round 1, Tank, the coldest intro, I Can't Make You Love Me, versus The Brat featuring Tyrese, What Did You Like, and then Chingy, who came out at the beginning for a surprise for Pulling Me Back, which features Tyrese. Now, you have 2 songs that feature Tyrese where he's just doing hooks. I don't even think he's doing bridges on here. He's just doing hooks. And Tank's doing runs and, you know, his band is vibing. And with that alone, I gotta go into Tank. This is Tank doing pure Tank things, making Tank music, and you're getting Tank, you're getting a Tank experience. So with that being said, even though if we're judging them based off of songs and what song I would listen to the most out of these, it probably would be Chingy, because that's the type of music I make. I make girly love songs. That's just my personal opinions. But this is a versus. Tyrese isn't featured that much on that song. He's just singing the hook. Tank, I could put this on. I could put this on my lady. We pour some wine, and we gonna get it. We gonna get it rocking. All right. So I'm gonna get that round to Tank. All right, round 2, Tank featuring Jay Valentine, Slow, this is one of my favorite Tank songs of all time. This record introduced me to Jay Valentine, who is the co-host of the R&B Money podcast. I believe is the main host now, because Tank is doing all this other stuff. Versus Slowly. Oh, it was Slow/Slowly. And I love the transition into this versus Tyrese Stay. I got to go with Slow, man. That's one of my favorites. I love the fact he gave Jay Valentine his time to shine. He's been trying to get Jay Valentine to step into his artistry once again forever. Jay's not having it. As we know, Jay Valentine was a member of a group called the Neutrons back in the day with his brothers, and he had minor hit success on his own as a solo artist. He was the leading man in Keisha Cole's I Don't Love You No More video, and also he wrote and co-wrote a lot of things, being one of Tyrese's favorite songs. I Like Them Girls. Jay Valentine wrote that. So it's a lot of history there, you know. And these people have a long Tank and Tyrese. All this aside, these guys are brothers. They're good friends, and they love each other. So don't let all this fool you. Those guys love each other and care about each other dearly. All right. So, but with all that being said, I got to give it to Slow. Even though I love the Tyrese song Stay, if I'm listening, if I gotta pick a choice, I've listened to Slow more times than I've listened to Stay. That's just me personally. You know, I just think so. All right, round 3, we got Tank featuring Wale. You don't know / Aaliyah featuring Tank. Come Over versus Tyrese Morning After / Signs of Love Making. Singer Candace Boy sang Aaliyah's verse on the song. She did a great job. And as you know, Tank sang backup on this song. She saw Tank walking by the studio and was like, "Hey, Tank, I need you to sing on this song." He said, "Okay, cool. I did it." So if you ever see the song and it says featuring Tank, that's why. um, I'm going to say Tyrese stole this one. I'm going to just, because Signs of Love Making is Signs of Love Making. Let's just call that what it is. That's one of his greatest songs that he's made. And what I like more than Signs of Love Making is the remix featuring He Who Shall Not Be Named on his channel, because he is incarcerated, and I don't know how you two feel about him, but go check that out. Round 4, we got Tank Effing With Me versus / When We versus Tyrese Nothing On You. When We, come on, man. It ain't too many R&B songs that can go against When We. When We, I can be a grist. I can be, come on, man. Stop playing, man. Round 5, Pleasure P, Under, which was co-written by Tank versus Tyrese Lately. What am I going to do? This was so hard for me, man, because I love Under by Pleasure P. That's my favorite Pleasure P song. He only got about 2 of them, 3 of them maybe 4. I'm sorry. But I love Lately by Tyrese. That was my favorite Tyrese song. You know what's crazy? Anita Baker, Mary J. Blige, and Beyonce are my 3 top favorite singers. In no particular order. Mary J. Blige is number 1, Anita's number 2. And I got mad at Anita Baker when she redid Lately. That's how much I love Lately, that song and that version of Tyrese. I got mad at Anita Baker for redoing a Tyrese song, because I'm like, yo, I love you, Anita, but why are you touching this? And she didn't do a bad job, but it was still like, I don't know. It took me a while to kind of just accept it, like, you lucky I love you, Anita. But all that aside, this was the hardest round for me. But I have to go with Tyrese on this one, man. I love Under, though. And I love the way Pleasure P sings this. Especially at the end when he goes into the falsetto. But I got to go. Lately is my shit. And then What Am I Going to Do? That's a double punch. That was a high round for anybody. So, yeah. You got 2 against 1 that is higher. And it's not even Tank song, so I gotta go with that one, man. Okay, next round we got okay, I'm sorry. I got a little lost right here. Round 6, we have Omarion. Oh, written by Tank, and Marcus Houston, Naked, also co-written by Tank. Ooh, he's some smashes, boy. Oh, was a big record for Omarion. That was a great record. You can hear Tank in the backgrounds of that. I always liked that record. But Marcus Houston, Naked, I ain't gonna lie. I had forgot he wrote this. And when he played this, I was like, what? He wrote Naked? Dude, you don't understand the fucking... This song was huge, man. Like, you don't understand, bro. This did so many great things for fucking Marcus Houston's career. This was just a fucking great record, man. It's still to this day. Versus Tyrese won, and / Tyrese featuring Tank. He did a Tank song. And Tank didn't know this fucking song. Tank was like, what the fuck is this shit? And Tank was like, we wrote this? He's like, yeah, this is Tyrese featuring Tank. I don't know if he thought he was gonna get some brownie points, but it was like Tank didn't even know this shit. He was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna sing along. Guess I don't know the fucking words to this shit. And he did all that and still lost the round. Just playing. It ain't too many songs that can go against Naked, bro. That's a fucking huge, huge, huge song, bro. I'm sorry, man. Tank did all that. Tyrese did all that brown nosing and still lost. All right, round 7. Latoya Like It Regret. This is another song I forgot Tank had did. This is co-produced and co-written by Tank, featuring versus Tyrese on Top of Me and Shame. Uh, I gotta go with Latoya Luckett, man. I liked it this era of Latoya Luckett. It was this song, and then she had a song with Slim Thug was in the video, man. Ain't gonna end like that. I forget the name of the song. That was my shit, bro. Latoya Luckett had a run, and I was happy for her because after Destiny's Child, it could have went either way, and I liked how she landed on her feet and wound up having some solo success on her own. And she came out and redid this and looked good and sounded good, and so for that I gotta go with Latoya Luckett on me. That's just me personally. These Tyrese songs were great though. Shame is a great song too, but I'm just gonna go with that's just my personal favorite. You know what I mean? Round 8, Jamie Foxx, Do What It Do, and this was I was telling my lady when this first got announced. She was Team Tyrese, and she was like, I don't know if Tank gonna have enough songs. And I'm like, yo, he done wrote for Jamie Foxx on his first album. You gotta. She's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, man, he did this song, and I love the fact that Jamie Foxx came out and showed love. You know what I mean? Because after everything Jamie's endured, him to come out on the Versus stage and Tank to call in that favor and him to adhere to the favor, I think was super dope. So, Do What It Do, which was co-produced and written by Tank versus Tyrese, Sweet Lady. Now that's what's hard because Sweet Lady is Tyrese's staple song. So Tyrese knew when to pull this motherfucker out, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'll make it do what it do, baby. Because he's doing the Ray Charles thing. The body calling my name. Hoo-hoo, it's got a body. And then, sweet lady, would you be mine? Ah, that was tough. This was tough. I ain't gonna lie. Um, I don't know, man. I gotta go with Sweet Lady. Yo, that's crazy. Because you bring out Jamie Foxx, and then you got Sweet Lady. It just crushes that because that was an album cut on the song. That wasn't like it was a single. Dope song, but Sweet Lady is Sweet Lady, man. You know what I mean? And Jamie Foxx did an amazing job, by the way. All right. Round 9, Tank featuring Trey Songz, When We Remix, Maybe I Deserve, Please Don't Go, versus Tyrese, How You Gonna Act Like That? Tank was joined by a drunk Trey Songz who was trying to catch it. He didn't have his in ears. So if a lot of people like, oh, why he done something? He said at the beginning, he said, yo, I don't got my in ears, so turn the music up. Like I can't hear, you know what I mean? So he was trying his best. He's like, man, I ain't had nothing to wear. He was just all over the place. But if we judging by songs, I'm gonna disqualify Win Week because he already did that in but maybe I Deserve and Please Don't Go are better than How You Gonna Act Like That, in my personal opinion. Some people say it's a tie. Nah, not happening. This was a different type of verses though, and these are two talented artists, and we happy they got we just happy they got their follower. We happy they got they flowers at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Cause man, let me say, this is definitely a different type of verses. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, who I think won? I think R&B won. I think Tank and fucking Tyrese won. But if we're judging by songs, I believe I gave more to Tank. That's just me personally. As much as great as Tank is, he ain't fucking with Tank's pen. And that says a lot about an artist when not only can you sing the song, but you can write a song. You know what I mean? And Tank was about to give up music and go back home to church, and Jamie Foxx saw him and saw him out somewhere, I think in a record store, and he was just explaining how he was fed up with the music business. And Jamie said, man, you coming to live with me. You gonna help me write my album. And he was like, for real? He was like, yeah. And the rest is history. So with that being said, the winner and who I saw won is the person who won the song by song. You know, this wasn't a traditional versus. They didn't go like 20. They did kind of like a jointed 15, adjacent 15. But nonetheless, it was a great time, great vibes, and I'm happy. Post your comments below. Let me know who you guys thought won and who you want to see next. Did you like my review? If so, hit the like bell, hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the hype button. It's your boy, The Black Abstract. Peace.